What a weekend at Watkins Glen! The air was thick with anticipation as fans from all over the country gathered at this legendary track, ready for a spectacle that would be talked about for years to come. Sports sometimes deliver stories that are almost too wild to believe. Racing, in particular, has a way of turning the expected upside down, creating legends in a single afternoon. This past Saturday, we witnessed one of those stories unfold right before our eyes, as the crowd held its breath with every lap. The star of the show, 19-year-old sensation Connor Zilisch, a driver whose name is quickly becoming synonymous with raw talent and fearless ambition in the world of NASCAR. His performance in the Xfinity Series Mission 200 was nothing short of electrifying. Every turn, every maneuver, he seemed to push the limits of what was possible. The energy at Watkins Glen was off the charts, with fans buzzing for a showdown that promised high drama and unforgettable moments. The grandstands shook with excitement as engines roared to life. Zilisch, piloting the iconic number 88 Chevrolet, was a favorite, and for good reason. His aggressive style and sharp instincts had everyone watching his every move. But racing is unpredictable, and this race would test his resilience like never before. A sudden spin, a near miss, and the ever-present threat of disaster loomed at every corner. It was a day of triumph and a shocking twist. Just when it seemed victory was certain, fate intervened in the most unexpected way. Connor's journey was a masterclass in perseverance, facing adversity and coming out on top. He battled back from setbacks, showing the heart of a true champion. The celebration was pure joy, until everything changed in an instant. The team's cheers echoed through victory lane, but the mood would soon shift dramatically. Cheers turned to gasps as the unexpected happened in victory lane. A medical emergency brought the festivities to a sudden halt, leaving everyone in shock. Buckle up as we relive the heart-pounding moments, the comeback, and the shocking aftermath. The highs and lows of this race will stay with us for a long time. This is more than a race. It's a story of determination, courage, and the unbreakable spirit of a young champion who refused to give up, no matter the odds. In NASCAR, the drama doesn't always end with the checkered flag. Sometimes the real story begins after the race is run. Sometimes the most unforgettable moments happen after the race is over. The aftermath can be just as intense as the race itself, with emotions running high and destinies changing in a heartbeat. Let's dive into the day Connor Zilisch will never forget, a day that tested his limits, challenged his spirit, and ultimately defined his young career. The roller coaster was just beginning, and the story of the Glen would echo far beyond the checkered flag. The Mission 200 was a showcase of Zilisch's raw talent, a race that would be remembered for years to come. From the moment the engines roared to life, there was a sense that something special was about to unfold. From the green flag, he attacked the track with the confidence of a veteran, showing no hesitation as he dove into the first corners. Every lap, he seemed to push the limits just a little further, finding speed where others struggled. Watkins Glen is a beast, a track that demands respect and punishes mistakes, but Connor made it look easy, aggressive in the turns, smart on the straights, and always in control. His car danced through the S's and powered down the backstretch, leaving fans and competitors in awe. He battled the best, running up front and keeping his cool even as the pressure mounted. Rivals tried to rattle him, but Connor's focus never wavered. His crew chief, Marty Lindley, called a flawless race, making bold strategy calls and keeping the team calm under pressure. The pit crew executed perfectly, nailing every stop and giving Connor the tools he needed to stay out front. As the laps ticked down, Connor led the pack, fending off fierce challenges from seasoned veterans and hungry up-and-comers alike. Each lap, the tension grew, the margin for error shrinking with every turn. The crowd was on its feet, sensing another win for the young star. The energy in the grandstands was electric, every fan glued to the action as the laps wound down. But racing can turn on a dime. Just when it seemed like victory was within reach, chaos erupted on the track, a dramatic crash that changed everything in an instant. A late caution bunched up the field for a high-stakes restart, erasing Connor's hard-earned lead and setting the stage for a nail-biting finish. Suddenly, everything was on the line. The tension in the pits was palpable, and Connor's grip on the wheel tightened as he prepared for the most important restart of his career. One mistake could erase a day's worth of brilliance. The entire team held its breath, knowing that a single misstep could cost them everything they'd worked for. Connor faced the ultimate test: nail the restart or lose it all. With nerves of steel, he readied himself for the green flag, determined to seize his moment. The stage was set for a dramatic finish. The pressure was on, and the world was watching to see if Connor Zilisch could complete a comeback for the ages. The final restart was chaos. Zilisch, leading, had a target on his back as the field surged forward. Into turn 1, cars went 4 wide, danger at every corner. Connor got bumped, sent sliding up the track, and dropped from 1st to 5th in seconds. For most, that's game over. But not for Connor. Instead of panicking, he focused. His crew chief calmed him on the radio. "Still laps left, go get 'em." Connor reset, eyes forward, and began the chase. 4 cars ahead, just a handful of laps to go. The crowd, stunned moments before, now watched in suspense. Could he pull off the impossible? This was the defining moment, a test of character and skill. He put his head down and went to work. The comeback was on. The fans were on the edge of their seats. Connor Zilisch was not done yet. The fight was back on. With just 4 laps remaining, the tension in the air was electric. Zilisch, eyes laser-focused, unleashed a masterclass in racing that would be remembered for years to come. Every corner, every straight, he calculated his moves with the precision of a seasoned champion, refusing to let the pressure shake his resolve. He picked off 4th place with a daring move, then set his sights on 3rd. Each pass was a breathtaking display of skill, timing, and sheer guts as he threaded the needle between rivals, never hesitating, always pushing forward. The crowd roared with every move, their excitement building with each position gained. Fans leapt to their feet, sensing they were witnessing something special, a comeback for the ages. Time was running out, but Connor found speed where others couldn't, pushing his car to the absolute limit. He danced on the edge of grip, extracting every ounce of performance from his machine, determined not to let this opportunity slip away. In the final 2 laps, he closed in on 2nd place, making a daring move in the S's that left the crowd breathless. Only the leader remained ahead, and the gap was shrinking with every turn. As the white flag waved, signaling the final lap, Connor was glued to the leader's bumper, his determination unwavering. The entire grandstand held its breath, knowing the showdown was about to reach its climax. He pressured relentlessly, forcing the leader to defend every inch of the track. The tension was palpable as both drivers pushed themselves and their cars to the absolute edge. Down the straight, side by side, neither gave an inch. The engines screamed, tires clawed at the asphalt, and the crowd's cheers reached a fever pitch as the 2 rivals battled for supremacy. Into the braking zone, Connor held the inside line with nerves of steel, braking later than anyone thought possible. He completed the pass with authority, seizing the lead in dramatic fashion. He took the lead and never looked back, pulling away from the pack as the finish line approached. The culmination of his relentless drive and unbreakable spirit was now within reach. The crowd erupted, an epic comeback sealed. Fans hugged, cheered, and waved flags, celebrating a moment they'd never forget. It was his 6th win of the season, a statement to the entire NASCAR world that a new force had arrived. Connor Zilisch had not only won the race, but captured the hearts of fans everywhere. He'd overcome adversity, silenced the doubters, and proved why he's a rising star destined for greatness. His journey was far from over, but tonight he stood tall among champions. Victory at Watkins Glen was his, a triumph built on courage, skill, and an unyielding will to win. The celebration was about to begin. Connor Zilisch had arrived. The legend was growing. What a finish to a race that will be talked about for years to come. Victory Lane never gets old, but for Connor, this one was special. After that comeback, the joy was overwhelming. He emerged from his car to a hero's welcome, grinning ear to ear. The team celebrated, photos snapped, and the checkered flag waved. Connor's energy was infectious. He wanted everyone to share in his triumph. For a 19-year-old rookie, 6 wins is remarkable. He climbed atop his car, checkered flag in hand, soaking in the cheers. Arms raised, he was king of the moment. The sun was shining, the crowd roaring. Nothing could go wrong. This was the peak of his emotional high. A perfect day, a perfect celebration. The image of Connor on the roof, victorious, would be remembered for years. But fate had one more twist in store. In an instant, joy turned to shock. As Connor celebrated atop his car, a misstep changed everything. His foot slipped, caught in the window net, and he tumbled off the roof. The crowd's cheers became gasps. He landed hard on the asphalt. Pain replaced celebration. His team rushed to his side, the scene turning from festive to frantic. Medical staff arrived within seconds, assessing his injuries. The cameras pulled back, the focus now on his well-being. The roller coaster of emotions had plunged again. One moment, a champion, the next, a patient. The entire NASCAR community held its breath. The celebration was over. Now, everyone waited for news. The risks of racing and celebrating were suddenly all too real. Connor's day had taken a dramatic turn. The medical team acted fast, stabilizing Connor on the spot. He was awake and alert, but clearly in pain. He was transported to a local hospital for further evaluation. NASCAR officials quickly updated fans. Connor was conscious, but the extent of his injuries was unknown. Hours later, Connor posted an update. He'd been released from the hospital. The good news, no head injury. The bad, a broken collarbone. Painful, but not career-threatening. Connor thanked the medics for their quick response and professionalism. He showed maturity and gratitude, even in adversity. A fall like that could have been much worse. The NASCAR community breathed a sigh of relief. The focus shifted to recovery. Despite the setback, Connor's first thoughts were of gratitude. He thanked fans and medical staff for their support. The injury meant he'd miss the next day's Cup Series race, a huge disappointment. It was a lost chance to showcase his talent at the highest level. But Connor knew health comes first. Racing injured is dangerous for everyone. He accepted the decision to sit out, focusing on recovery. A broken collarbone takes weeks to heal, but his determination is unwavering. The NASCAR community rallied behind him. Everyone is eager to see him return, stronger than ever. The journey back had begun. Watkins Glen delivered a story for the ages: triumph, adversity, and resilience. Connor's comeback win and shocking fall reminded us of the unpredictability of sports. Now his focus shifts to healing and returning to the track. He'll work with doctors and therapists, determined as ever. The NASCAR family stands with him, cheering him on. What was your favorite moment from Connor's wild weekend? Share your thoughts and well wishes in the comments. These are the stories that make us love racing. Stay tuned for updates on Connor's recovery and more NASCAR drama. The journey continues. See you at the next race.